What's good, Hendo? We back in another video. Today we got the Seahawks and the Rams. NFC Championship prediction, you feel me? Alright, so last week we did the prediction with the with the Niners. Feel me? This week, I ain't gonna talk shit. I ain't gonna lie, for real, the only reason I was talking shit, cause like, the Niners was talking crazy, like, we ain't just whoop on him 2 weeks before that, you feel me? But that's not about the Niners. That's in the past, you feel me? So we play the Rams. I ain't gonna talk crazy because the Rams is the only... I don't know about other Seattle fans, but the Rams is the only team that worry me that could fuck around and really beat us, you feel me? If y'all know what I mean, y'all know what I mean. The Rams is the really best team in the league that could challenge us. I ain't gonna lie. So, yeah, I'm nervous for this, John. I ain't gonna lie. I might even watch this game. I might even watch it. I don't know. But let's get right into the video.
Top 7 keys each team needs to find to unlock the door to the Super Bowl. Name your third favorite installment in a trilogy. Best possible matchup, the rubber match. Courtesy of the best division in the NFC. LA Rams, winners of back-to-back road playoff games.
That back-to-back win shit don't mean nothing. They played the Panthers. And they played the Bears. Come on now.
Showed they can pull out a close one.
They barely beat the Panthers. First of all, when they played the Panthers like a month ago, they lost. And then they just barely beat the Bears. Come on,
win
man.
In the elements,
but they still
all in front of a raucous crowd.
And it's good! And the Los Angeles Rams go to the championship game!
We get the #1 scoring offense versus the #1 scoring defense, playoff style.
Last time we had the #1 scoring defense, the #1 overall defense, and we played the #1 offense. Y'all know how Super Bowl 48 turned out. But that time, that was the best offense in NFL history. That was the best statistic NFL offense in history.
Seattle Seahawks just blew a fellow playoff team out with its quarterback throwing for less than 125 yards, its 1,700-yard receiver finishing with less than 20 yards. Not sure Luke made the right call. Might have been wise to join the dark side after all.
Trouble. Sacked. Ball is out.
We be torching that
Seattle
last
has it. Party's on in the Emerald
City.
City.
That last nigga.
Luke, I am your father because I am a baller. Okay, so round 3. And here's what's kind of strange. The #1 scoring defense this season, the Seattle Seahawks, have only let one team score 21+ points on them in their last 7. The one team, the Rams, Week 16, who they outscored 38-37 in an OT classic.
Sam steps, looks, throws back in the end zone. Touchdown! Seahawks!
Hey, listen,
but when the #1 scoring offense in the NFL, the LA Rams, prevailed in Week 11, they won by a whopping 21-19 final.
Throws middle. It's intercepted again.
And that was probably our worst ever performance. And we lost by 2. I feel like that's the worst game we ever played. That's the worst performance we put up in the game this year. And we only lost by 2. 4 picks. I think Sam had 2 fumbles. Some shit like that.
Be serious.
LA secondary picked off Sam Darnold 4 times, no touchdowns allowed, which brings us to Seattle's first key. They need Yosemite Sam to show up, not the Sixth Sense Darnold. When Seattle won, Darnold threw a couple of first-half picks, but turned it around with 2 second-half TDs, came through in the clutch.
The Seahawks win the game!
Sammy D threw for 270 and 279 yards versus LA.
Played
through an oblique injury in their divisional round win, only threw 17 times, just 124 yards, but completed 12 passes over 7 yards per attempt, a TD, no picks, a 110 rate.
49ers drop out of a blitz. Throw, it's caught. Oh, man. Weave that in there somehow.
Darnold hasn't been what you'd call on fire down the stretch, though. It's rare to see him shine without Jackson Smith and Jigba doing the same, of course, so he's their second key. Called in Darnold's lone TD versus the...
We didn't even need Sam to throw the ball. Because the running backs was... Kenneth Walker was fucking their defense up. I ain't gonna lie, after that kick return... the Niners didn't even want to play no more, like, for real. So we didn't even need Sam to do nothing.
Niners.
Darnold looking,
but especially after this, the game was over.
It is caught! caught.
17-0.
Touchdown.
Game
Just
was over.
19 yards, though. Had one game like last week's during the regular season versus Minnesota, just 23 yards, 92 yards and 2 touchdowns the week that followed. 105 yards versus LA when they lost, 96 and a TD when they prevailed, so plenty effective versus LA secondary.
I don't know how to feel.
JSN cuts back up inside, and a terrific route run by Jackson Smith and Jigba.
And the jilted X. Cooper Kupp gets to face his old employer with the stakes as high as they could be, led Seattle in receiving yards in their win over the Niners, 5 catches, 60 yards.
Throws one deep, has a man, and it's Cooper Kupp right at the sticks.
When they held Darnold in check to the end, they picked him off 6 times in their 2 games, and their DBs just picked off Caleb Williams 3 times. Clock struck mid.
That's Caleb Williams, though. That's not us. Sam might throw a pick or 2, but the defense gonna shut you down.
Night for the Bears.
Hey, Puka not doing that shit. Puka not going for no 225. 225 is crazy. I don't even know how he went for 225. I don't even know how. I really don't. Oh, no, Nick Emery got injured, and then Kobe Bryant got injured, so.
They ripped that glass slipper right off.
But he's not going for no fucking 225. I'd be surprised that nigga go for 100.
Rams
No
secondary played the
Seahawks!
Walker, the star of their offense in their divisional round win,
go crazy
116 yards on 6.1
He gotta
per
be that
attempt,
main guy.
cashed it in 3 times,
He ain't
too.
have to be the main guy on the team
to the left, sprinting through.
since before since before Sharp was on the
in the
team.
open field.
Walker has hit
wow.
at 6'1 or better 3 of his last 4 games. LA's front just faced an elite running back duo, held DeAndre Swift to 4 a carry, Kyle Monangai to 2.8 per.
It's a run.
Listen, stop comparing niggas on this team to other niggas. Our defense is not the Bears defense. You feel me? Our defense is not their defense. Our QB, our offense is not their offense. Caleb Williams threw 3 picks. I'm not saying that Sam would never throw 3 picks because he already threw 4 against the Rams, but their offensive line ain't like ours. You feel me? They don't have a Kenneth Walker. They don't have a JSM. You feel me? They don't have a Barney. They don't have a... Like, come on now.
No!
Come on now.
Now to LA's second key, its own rush attack. Kyron Williams finished under 3.5 per try in their loss to Seattle, hit at 7.6 per when they won. 91 yards plus a TD.
Yeah, 91 yards.
Right
he didn't do shit the next game.
Kyron Williams punches it in.
The same thing with the Niners. You feel me? The Rams beat us the first game, right? They had a good-ass game. They still barely won. Same with the Niners. The second game, we blew out the Niners. We locked the Niners the fuck up. I ain't gonna lie. We locked their ass up. And then the third game, we blew the Niners out the water. The second game against the Rams, we was losing. We came back. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be 100. I feel like we win by 2
efficiency
scores.
factor for both backs. Williams racked up 87 yards versus Chicago, scored twice.
You hearing it here first. We're gonna win by 2 scores against the Rams. Like, at the start of the game, you feel me? I'm going to be nervous. No bullshit. But by the time the final horn sounds, we'll be up at least 2 scores.
Kyron Williams bouncing to the outside. Williams to the end zone.
Hey, if I'm lying and I just jinxed us to lose, y'all get to unfollow. Y'all get to do anything. I ain't going to lie. Unsubscribe, all that shit. Real shit.
And Kyron also has a running mate in Blake Corum.
Hey, but if I'm right, you got to hit that follow button on IG, TikTok, and you gotta subscribe on YouTube.
It's 19 yards versus the Bears, but Seattle's fourth key, make LA's offense one-dimensional. No harder defense for a back to be efficient against than Seattle's this season. Held CMC to 35 yards, only 3.2 per attempt.
4th and 1.
Gonna run a little
in the last 2
games,
and that's not gonna work.
That play had no chance.
This isn't to say Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, and Devontae Adams aren't bigger keys, so to speak, but Nacua and Stafford had crazy good outings in that Week 16 game, and they lost. Stafford only threw for 130 yards, Nacua 75 when they won. But their big 3 still are key to the outcome. Stafford with 5 total touchdowns versus the Hawks without getting picked. He hung 450-plus yards on the Seahawks secondary Week 16.
he
Stafford has
dropped
time to deal. Caught middle. Matthew Stafford put it on his number.
Stafford no TD passes versus the Bears, though. Only 6.1 per attempt, a 67 rate game. Not one of his best.
Flushed, floats it out to Parkinson. Couldn't bring it in. And Stafford after
Hey, I don't know how our defense gonna play.
Of late.
Was it
because
the cold,
last
his
week our
middle
defense
finger
was playing
being
crazy,
banged up,
even
a
though
little of both?
it was the Niners.
Adams just 24 yards versus the Bears. The Hawks held him to a
home field
1-yard
advantage.
TD reception on 8 targets
That
when they
home field
lost to
advantage
LA.
to
He didn't play the
definitely-
second time around,
was
which led
definitely
to
a
Nakua's
factor.
outburst. He put up the best receiving game of the year in that one. 12 catches, 225 yards, 2 scores.
He's not going from
And that's
nowhere
how
near
stars
that
are born.
again.
Big games like
The difference between week 18 and then a divisional game against the Niners. The divisional game against the Niners, we actually let the nigga throw the ball. We actually let him throw the ball a lot. I am not gonna lie. We let him throw the ball a lot. But that game in week 18, we was just, I ain't gonna lie, we was just blitzing his ass. We was just getting to him.
Allowed one
If
pass
we could get to
defense.
Stafford and pressure him a
Nick
lot
Amendola knocked
to
the
get that ball
away.
out early,
Reek
all we gotta
Willen
do
knocked
is
down
clamp it
2
up.
Purdy passes. Josh Jobe, no receptions allowed. Devin Witherspoon, 7 targets, only 29 yards allowed. Hawks, number 1 versus wide receivers in 2025, held every San Francisco wideout under 25 yards.
He has time. Looking deep. Throwing that way. It's high and incomplete.
If this is the year defense is supposed to live up to that old saying, Seattle is in good shape, they held San Francisco to 6 points. No red zone trips allowed.
incredible season. Another game-changing play for the Seahawks defense. The dam.
All I'm gonna say is, if we replicate, like, it's gonna be hard to stop the Rams. You feel me? Because they obviously one of the best offense, if not the best offense in the league. If we could replicate our defensive performance, even our offensive performance, like be consistent, no turnovers. You feel me? Like that running game on par. If we could just remotely replicate that and then replicate the defense we played on the Niners, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Seattle's number 3 scoring offense versus LA's number 10 scoring defense, coming off a nice showing, holding Chicago to 17 points.
He's in trouble. Durant's got this one. Interception.
Like
Special
Sammy had
teams,
2
each
picks
team's
and we
final
won by
key.
1 point.
Jason Myers,
We scored
2 for 2
38
on
points.
field goal tries versus San Francisco,
38
5 for
points.
5 on extra points. They have a second-team All-Pro punter in Michael Dixon, and Rashid Shaheed had that huge kickoff return. Didn't do anything in the passing game, but made his offensive presence felt with a 30-yard run, a major X factor.
Here's Shaheed on the end around. He could fly. We've
Whoa.
seen it all.
Seattle 7-2 versus 500-plus teams, 7-2 with the 12s on their side. The Rams 6-3 now versus teams with more wins than losses, 7-4 away from home after last week.
If the Broncos somehow beat the Patriots, if the Broncos somehow beat the Patriots, there's no way whoever comes out the NFC is winning by 30. There's no way we're not winning by 30. Real shit. If the Broncos go to the Super Bowl over the Patriots, whoever wins out of this game is going to win by 30. Real shit. But, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's an even 5. It's an even 5. 31-28, 33-30, 34-20. I like that. I like that answer. 34. No. Hell no. Nigga just went to the same exact score. I feel like a realistic score, 34-20. That's if we're really clicking. Like, we could really replicate what we did last week. That's gonna be that score. Or if it's like, you feel me, the average close NFC division game. If anything, it's gonna be like maybe 31. I don't feel like, if it's a close game, I don't think we're gonna score that high. It's probably gonna be like 26-22, 24-20, something like that. So anything between these 3 games, it could be anything between these 3 games right here. I ain't gonna lie, these 3 games. Hey man, here we go, and we play Saturday. That's crazy. But the one thing I noticed, the teams that played Sunday, that had to play the following weeks, that next Saturday, they ain't been playing their best. Like the Niners, we blew their ass out. If the Rams is if the Rams is exhausted from last week's game, trust me, we gonna jump on him. No cap. Hey man, but with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, post notification. We got the NFC Championship Saturday. I'm gonna say it here first. I will be watching the game, so the reaction would be, so when y'all see me react to it, it's gonna be like I already seen the game. I already know. So if I'm in an upset mood, y'all know why. But if I'm not in an upset mood, you know what happened. But with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, the post notification. We're on the road to 4K subs. We're gonna tap that shit very, very soon. Make sure y'all type it to the IG, to TikTok. Feel me? Links in the description. Go click the links. Go hit a follow button, like, all that, share. You feel me? Y'all know what to do. But with that being said, I'm gonna see y'all Saturday.